Yep, Manic Street Preachers and Suede playing 3 dates together in Wales, 2 at Cardiff Castle next weekend. I'll see you there. And tonight at the Llangollen International Eisteddfod, and Manic's frontman James Dean Bradfield is on the line. Morning, James.
Morning, how are you doing?
Very good, thanks. Very excited about this. I think when he went off to the States with this tour, a lot of us felt that we'd missed out. But you're bringing the goodies home.
We are, yes. I'm running about every weekend now for the next 6 weeks or so. We're playing with Suede at kind of various locations around Britain, starting with Llangollen tonight. And it's been a good continuation of the idea that we had in Asia and America. It's been brilliant so far.
Yeah, I'll come back to that idea in a minute, because I think, I've been a bit informed on it, actually, by looking at these new photographs. The book that's out today, I've been looking at the photograph of these, the book of these long-lost photographs from the early days of the Manics, 91, 92, which were previously unseen by fans, previously unseen by you, the band as well. When did you first see them?
Well, Valerie Phillips, the photographer, came on tour with us and right in the early 90s, like 91, 92, 93. And I remember seeing some of the kind of negatives of these photos. They'd been lost for a while, and the band archivist chased them down. And we were looking at books and signing some books in the studio the other day, and we were only saying to each other, we're kind of, when you look at the albums and you wince at some of the haircuts, we didn't wince at many of the haircuts. We're quite proud of our ex-haircuts. We must.
Yeah, no, I think not much to wince at in there at all. But it's bad enough. It's bad enough when you're going through your phone and you find a photograph from 5 years ago, to suddenly see these photographs which transport you right back to those exciting days. In the pomp of your youth, James. What's it like seeing that?
It was strange seeing me wear some of my mother's old blouses. Definitely, there were a few in there which she really gave me a year for stealing out of her wardrobe. Yeah. But to be honest, mostly it's just pride seeing some of the photos and realising what a good photographer Valerie was as well. It's such a naturalist kind of like view of it's such a natural view of what a band is doing at the start. Playing in these small, crammed clubs, and just like you can see that perhaps something is happening, and perhaps you can see the struggle in it as well sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
The natural vibe of the photos is really cool.
Yeah, sitting in a bunk bed wearing leopard print, holding a guitar. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Looking at those photographs as well, I can see that then how you've ended up with Suede, Richie and Nicky in their leopard print. You had cheekbones to rival Brett's back in the day as well. I can see the symmetry, and I think you were both speaking to the same people then, weren't you? Outsiders, if you like. But thinking back to that time now, though, when you were both being championed by the music press, all this hyperbole flying about, did you see the symmetry then?
I think we did, and I think when Suede got their first Enemy cover, we definitely saw them as rivals. We sat up and we took notice and we're like, hey, who's this bunch? Who's this? Who are this bunch of kind of underground, kind of outsider, kind of glamour dolls, with kind of some kind of dystopian vision in their lyrics. It kind of rang true to us, but also it kind of made us sit up and take notice because we realised perhaps we were partly singing off the same hymn sheet. So as soon as we got there first, we were fans,
Yeah, and then did your paths would have crossed at festivals, I guess, and things along the way, but it feels like a marriage now. It feels like a marriage. It is a little like that, isn't it? But you're so comfortable together. And I've seen Brett and Nicky being interviewed a lot together, and they're very, it all makes sense to me. It all adds up.
It does, yeah. I mean, we toured with each other back in Europe in 94 and 93. I think it was 94 anyway. So we toured with each other way back in the day when they were exploding in places like France and Germany and Holland. They were really riding the crest of a wave. So we supported them in Europe back then. And now it's we just have so much more in common than we don't in terms of cultural bullet points and just the way perhaps we see life. And also this is certain old school. This is certain old schoolness to the way we play on stage. They're so loud on stage, and so are we. And we approach it in the same way. And you can still see that in somebody like Nicky and and Brett. They're kind of like that. That kind of outsider glamour still matters so much to them in the way they look and the way they still look. It's so effortless for somebody like Nicky and Brett still to look the part, really.
Morning, James. I'm intrigued. You have played Llangollen before, back in 2017, so a couple of years ago. Is it a similar crowd to what you're used to when you go to somewhere like Cardiff Castle, or is it very different in Llangollen?
No, Llangollen does have a different feel to it. And I remember when we played there in 2017, I think you said, and then there was a walk up to the crowd, and there were a lot of chants. From people leaving the gig, coming to the gig about Wales, and there were a lot more Welsh songs, and there were a lot more Welsh reference points in the crowd. They were interested in the aspect of it being a Welsh night, perhaps. So it is different. I mean, this is my third time playing Llangollen. I sang in the choir here when I was 11, I think, 11 or 12, and Oakdale Comprehensive School Choir put in hell of a performance back then. So we're gonna aim for that tonight as well.
So who's that kid wearing his mum's blouse?
I think that would have garnered a very different reaction in school back in the day.
And the usual question, which is, Suede, Suede are at their creative peak, I feel, at the moment anyway. Debuted a new track at the Isle of Wight last week, which I'll have to wait until next weekend for, thanks to Sky Arts editing of the set. I didn't get to see it. Where are you with writing and recording these days?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty far down the road with writing, recording a lot of stuff that we're very happy about. I don't know about releasing it or anything, but we're pottering away in our kind of studio in Calais all the time. So we're far down the road with doing stuff which we feel as if we could put out. We just got to talk about it, I suppose.
Maybe we'd all love to hear a bit of it. Over the course of the next week, James. I don't know. I don't know if you have any surprises planned for these homecoming shows.
We're not the kind of band that road tests new material. We just don't do that. We're all about the show, man.
All about. Well, we're looking forward to it. And what can people expect? Funny, you mentioned loud, energetic. You're two bands who clearly still love playing live hugely, throwing everything into it. This is no legacy tour, is it? This is still with every ounce that you've ever put into it. What can people expect?
I think people are going to expect us to, just leave nothing on the stage, to leave nothing in the changing rooms, to use sporting vernacular. But I think, there's so much for us to play. We have so many records. We have, run about, if we 14 albums to draw from. Suede have so much to draw from. We'll be thrown in a lot of anomalies and some kind of what you would call E-sides as well, kind of thing.
Oh,
sorry,
please.
that's somebody just wheeling their suitcase past me. Sorry about that. The weather, if you want, as well. We'll just leave nothing on stage, and there'll be some surprises too. We'll be playing a lot of songs from our back catalogue that people haven't heard for a long time.
More from Gold Against the Soul, please, James. Please.
I think we've kind of been. We've definitely nailed one Gold Against the Soul classic, definitely, for this tour.
Hopefully it's the one that's been my earworm all morning. Thank you very much. Lovely to talk to you, James. So much looking forward to it. I know thousands of people are, and I hope you enjoy every moment of it. I'm sure you will. And and love to the rest of the guys. James Dean Bradfield, Manic's frontman on those gigs tonight in Llangollen and then next weekend at Cardiff Castle.